I have had the blessing of being able to work with and be in community with hundreds of people around their purpose, their impact, their contribution to the world. And this is one of the most common questions that I have come across in the last 5 years. If you're struggling with this too, keep watching. Hey, I'm Andrea. If you're new to me, I create content and programs for people who have a vision for change in the world, or at the very least know that something different in the world is possible. So if that's you, you're in the right place. Everything I do is rooted in an understanding that you are the system and the revolution. And what you do with who you are and what you have matters. And that is why today we are talking about whether or not you're doing enough for the world. And this is 100% a rant, but it's a rant that just might change your life. So buckle in, subscribe, let's go. It's a beautiful day to get free. Okay, so are you doing enough for the world? Here's what I've got on that. Enough is subjective. I can't tell you what enough is for you. I could try, and other people could try, and they will, but how you measure enough resides inside of you. So what is enough? How are you defining that? And in that definition, is there space for you? Is there space for you to be human? Is there space for you to have limitations? Is there space for you to need rest? To be a complex human being? To seek pleasure? I think often those of us that are asking this question, which I have also asked, we have a pattern of being hyper responsible for the world around us. Our friends, our community, our family, our coworkers, people in our business. We take on a lot more responsibility than what's ours to carry. So let's unpack that for a second. Responsibility, one of my favorite topics. Responsibility isn't about blame. It's not about fault. It's not about obligation or duty or burden. It's about being able to respond. Response-able. The way that many of us think about this is so skewed, so I want to clear it up. I want to make a distinction between what you're responsible for and what you're responsible to. You are responsible for who you are, how you feel, and what you do. No one else is able to respond for you on these things. You are able to respond to everything. You are able to respond to everything around you. Imagine I came to you and I asked, hey, could you help me with this? And some rando stranger who overheard the conversation came in and said, yeah, they can. That's what you're doing every single time you are taking responsibility for something that's not yours to take responsibility for, something that you're only really able to respond to. And this gets in the way of others learning or deciding to take responsibility for what's actually theirs to take responsibility for, because you're doing it for them. And really the problem with that is, not only do we have people out here wilding out, knowing that they don't have to take responsibility for what they're doing, how they're behaving, the messes that they're creating, because they know people like us, we're going to pick up the tab. But what's even more devastating to me is that while you're off carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders and take responsibility for things that aren't yours to take responsibility for, the energy, gifts, skills, ideas, dreams that you have available to you, the things that you are actually responsible for, they're limited, they're hidden, they go untouched and unused because your attention is placed elsewhere. And I use the word devastating on purpose, completely intentional, because that's what we need from you. Not you taking on the burdens of the world, but you responding to the injustices and suffering that's present in our world or in your communities, and showing up with your gifts, your skills, everything that you are, everything that you have to offer. Because no one else can bring that but you. The issues that we as humans are grappling with right now, those are collective issues, and collective issues can only really be addressed through collective solutions. Meaning that you cannot save the world. You are one piece in a very complicated and ever expanding 7 billion plus piece puzzle And what you are responsible for is deciding what part do you want to play in this puzzle. I think this metaphor might be getting away from me. My point here is this question used to wreck me. This question of, am I doing enough for the world, used to make me feel so stuck, sick, and generally just filled with judgment. And it rarely comes up for me anymore because I'm clear on the part that I want to play. And it's in alignment with who I am, with the gifts and the skills that I have, with the vision that I have for changing the world. It's this YouTube channel. It's my business. It's the way that I choose to relate to the world around me, to the people in my community. And there might be people that think that that's not enough. And they're right, because there will always be more. There will always be something else that I could be doing. And they might think that there's other things that I should be doing. But I've had to get okay with that because I don't want to prioritize the judgment of others as I make decisions about how I'm going to contribute to the world, because they're not responsible for that. I am. So anytime I start to feel this question, which is really a judgment, anytime I start to feel this question creeping up, I just do a little check-in with myself. And I make a list, either mentally or an actual list, of all the things that I'm holding, all the things that I'm carrying, everything that I'm tending to, everything I'm showing up for, everything I'm committed to, the projects I'm working on, the relationships I'm cultivating and building, the knowledge I'm holding, the knowledge I'm integrating, the feelings I'm integrating, the identities that I have to navigate the world with. And I encourage you to do the same. And once you have that list, I have some better questions for you. Because once you see what you have on that list, asking yourself, are you doing enough? You'll be like, you're rude to yourself. So what's so much more interesting to me to ask is, are you doing what you want to do? Are you doing what you're here to do? Are you tending to your needs? Are you using what you have available to you to create the life and the world that you want? I want to have that conversation. So if this video affirmed, challenged, or inspired you in any way, please make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you're taking away from this. And actually, I have a question for you. Tell me in the comments what you would be able to do with your time and energy if you weren't so concerned and worried about whether or not you were doing enough or doing the right thing. I would love to hear that from you. And that's all I have for today. I'm sorry if it felt like I was yelling at you. I'm just very passionate about this. Until next time, go forth and be the revolution. Sis, what you are responsible for. Sis, it's parched.